Okay, welcome to how to use My Homeschool Village for 6th through 8th grades. If you look, I'm here inside our members area where our community is held. The first thing I recommend for 6th through 8th graders, this is vital social age for them. I don't believe that social is all that important up until 3rd grade. Yes, it's nice to have friends, but it's that 6th through 8th grade where they really start to crave those friendships. And yet our children tend to pull away a bit. So My Homeschool Village was built for this age. So if you go into here over on the left, you've got your co-op classes for your grades 7 through 12. We've got the Minecraft education. It's a really great place for them to start kind of getting to know each other a little bit. And if they show up, I will tell you right now, if you get your children to show up to the Minecraft, the Spanish, and the book club, they will automatically start recognizing people, seeing friends, starting to meet up, getting to know each other better, and they will start to really love these classes. They are so fun for these kids. And if you'd like them to sign up for journalism or the constitutional class or the art club, by all means, please get them in here. We'll be adding more classes as our children ask for them, but get them in these courses. This is where they're going to get their social life. It's supervised by homeschool moms. We don't run these classes without an adult present. That the kids are really bonding in here. So make sure you're hitting these. Also, make sure that you're going into our unit studies and that you're going, as you can see, we have a day by day. You've already seen a tour of this, hopefully. And our unit studies are a great place to expose your kids to new ideas, new people, new things going on in their lives. So 3rd through 5th grade, or 5th grade and under children, their number one priority is to strengthen their reading and writing skills. That's really where we want them to be so that they can learn on their own. The whole point of homeschooling is to teach your child how to educate themselves with the right tools. As they're little, we show them how to read and write and do basic math. We show them how to find the tools that they need to learn. But by 6th through 8th grade, they should have these tools in hand, and now the whole focus should be on exposing them to finding their talents and interests. A child by the age of 6th grade, their personality is very developed. They're starting to know who they are, but they don't know what is out there to look at, study, and learn. So now your job becomes showing them what's out there to learn and allowing them to choose for themselves what it is they want to learn. What you're doing is you're preparing them for their high school years when they're going to start really diving in to what interests them. So the early years is giving them the tools. The middle years, 6 through 8, is about helping them and exposing them to what's out there to learn so that in their teen years, they can dive in and really learn what interests them. So here's how you're going to do this. You're going to go in, you're going to make sure that they have all the Generation Genius, whether you just started homeschooling through 6th through 8th grade or whether you've been homeschooling for a while. I have my children, even my older kids that haven't seen Generation Genius, because this has been added in the last year or so. It's a newer program. I do have my children, even my older ones, go all the way through this. A 6th through 8th grader can get all the way through Generation Genius in a year because of how much faster they can learn. And so you can just have them start, if you want them to, they can start K through 2, 3 through 5, and 6 through 8, go all the way through and just one at a time. If you feel that's not necessary, that's fine. You can start right with 6 through 8. But I would make sure I would go in here and use Generation Genius to fill in any holes that they might have on education, but it will also start to wake up their interest in some of these topics. This is a great place if you have a child who hates math to start to learn math. Or if they hate science because school burned them out, this is a great place to learn to love science again. So I make sure that my children have been all the way through Generation Genius. Once they have completed every single lesson, we move on. But one of my main focuses at this age, and I have found this to be true across the board. I've homeschooled 5 children, and I have discovered that this is a great age for them to find out what they can do. That's really the focus here. So Creative Bug is a great place for this. You're going to go to classes, you're going to hit the kids and teens, and then you're going to come in here. I mean, and they don't have to do that. If they're interested in sewing, quilting, and your boys can sew too, let boys and girls try all of these out. Because what you'll find is a child says they don't like art, but really they don't like drawing. Or maybe they just don't like painting. But if you'll go in here and allow them to test and try. Now, I require my child is constantly taking a class from here. They're at the age from 6th through 8th grade where they can get their homework done, their reading, writing, math, science, history done in the morning. In the afternoons, it's about you need to be working on a project. Generally, I start them out in Creative Bug. If they eventually find their own projects, even better. But this is a great place. And I'll say, you have to pick a class. I do allow them to take one and decide if they want to keep going or if they want to try a different class, because I want them the exposure more than the skill level. So I do require that my children do this. We use our afternoons as creative time. If they're going to build a treehouse, awesome. If they're going to paint, fine. If they're going to, this is just where they're learning to do what they want to do, pick what they want to learn. And it's vital that you allow your children the choice, what they want to learn. This is where you're teaching them that education is a choice. It's not a have to, it's a get to. So you want to really focus on that on the 6th through 8th grade. So make sure that they're taking classes, at least one, if not more, in Creative Bug. Then I also make sure that my 6th through 8th graders are taking operating systems. I want them to have the skills online to be able to be successful in life. And so I want my 6th through 8th graders to be doing some form of coding. I require some form of coding from my children. I just think it's a language that needs to be done for their future. We require operating systems for our 6th through 8th graders. They need to know this as well, because when they get into high school, if they already have the skills for both of those, they can move further and faster. So I make sure we do that. Now, if I have children who are behind or have any type of learning disability, this is a great time. If we have to go backwards, we can as well. Not a problem with My Homeschool Village. You just go in and do that. Now, those are actually my main focus is the Creative Bug and the Type C during those 6th through 8th grade years. Yes, we still do everything else, which is now when we use study.com. This is the age where study.com becomes much better. Now, I will tell my children, you have to learn science, but they get to choose which science. So I will come in here and I will type in all kinds of their sciences. We'll come in here, as you can see, you just come to curriculum. I'm going to go to science, and I'm going to let my children decide what science they want to do. Look at how many science courses they have. Do they want earth science? Do they want biology? Do they want plants? Do they want chemistry? I let them pick. It's important that they choose, because there is no state standard that states, or every state has a different standard, but country-wise, there is no specific science per grade. They need to be learning science, but it doesn't say which science and when. And so I like to make sure my kids do get through all of it, but they get it through in the order they want, because my children have gone through phases where biology and body is really what fascinates them. And then we'll play with that for a year or two, and then they'll move on and want to do earth science. And so I find if I let them pick which science they want, they're more engaged, they have more fun, they learn more. So make sure that you're allowing them to pick that. If I want to go to history, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to courses. Say I want them, I do expect them to learn history, but look at all this history they get to pick from, and I'll let them choose that. This is vital at 6th through 8th grade that they choose what they learn, because it's about teaching them to love to learn. It's not about forcing them into it. This is the stage when most children start to hate to learn, because they're being forced all the time. So you can require that they learn history, but let them choose which history. And this is where I use study.com to allow them to have those choices and to really discover where their interests lie, and then to let them take off on that. Because when they hit high school, we're going to dive in even deeper. And this is where they actually will start to choose their careers, and it'll allow you to help them move forward faster. Instead of waiting until their 20s to know who they are, they don't have to get to college to then figure out who they are and what they want. We're helping them figure this out now, so that when they have those resources at their fingertips, they can learn better. So that is how I use My Homeschool Village for my 6th through 8th graders, and the reasons why we do it that way. If you have any other questions, please leave comments. Love to answer those questions for you. We are here for you every step of the way.